It is time to get raw. It is time to get down. It is time for the RAWDOWN, the number one source for all things WWE right here at the Turnbuckle Tavern. I'm your host, Young Anthony of the Independent Epicenter, and I'm joined with me, my co-host in crime, the MVP Marco of the Chick-Foley Show. Just go ahead and introduce yourself now.
I am cutting and strutting. I'm Brutus the Barber Bone Cake. Also known as the Bony Man. Bone syphilis. Bone cycle.
Oh, God.
Bony Zach. Yes.
And of course, we are joined with a special guest this week. It's the OG Fig Kid. Tom, how are you?
I am the reigning, defending RAWDOWN champion.
You don't even have a title, bro.
I know, right? Let's get...
Just hold your pants up, dude?
You're the most boring champion there's ever been.
I don't even need a belt because I'm that damn good. Who else has won it back-to-back months?
You're like the Jinder Mahal of the RAWDOWN.
Let's do it right. Let's give him his little ceremony here.
And now, the RAWDOWN presents the crowning ceremony for the RAWDOWN Championship.
The recognized symbol of excellence in sports entertainment.
Thank you, Nicole Bass, for introducing
So Tom, you have won the championship again.
I repeated. Soon to be a three-peat.
This is bullshit, all right? You come in here.
You guys aren't on my level. What can I say?
You're not on our you aren't even on our show. This is the second time where you come in. You're not even on our show. Plus, if I'm not mistaken, every episode that we have done leading up to Hell in a Cell, you have not been on.
You weren't even there. You weren't even there last week.
Well, I couldn't be there last week, but I was on the episode after I won last time.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for that.
I got that Roman Reigns contract. I only show up when it matters now. I don't need to do the in-betweens. I'll just show up, when I win. I'll show up for prediction shows.
Oh, thank you. That really warms my heart. You know something?
The Maharaja.
Originally the WWE guy. You used to... DVR, AEW. Now you think you're big time.
Perfect, and you guys can't even shine my shoes.
Shine your shoes. This is ridiculous. It's gotten way too far now. There's so many outsiders winning our title. Ace had the belt. You have the belt. Soon enough, Hawk's going to win our belt. This is ridiculous. There needs to be some order at the RAWDOWN. Holy shit!
Look,
all hell, president.
Yeah, I'm not in my office. I'm away on retreat,
on location.
Camp David.
Camp David.
That doesn't mean I don't listen, Tom. I'm listening to what you're saying here, and young Anthony makes a point.
It's about time.
You haven't showed up on RAWDOWN, and you violated the champion policy by doing so.
Boom!
Mm-hmm.
So
yes.
You haven't showed up on RAWDOWN for 30 days.
It's been less than 30 days.
Well, nonetheless, we're not going to argue. You're not going to argue with me.
Boom.
But instead, I'm not going to strip you of the title. That's not what we're going to do. But I'm going to give you one last chance.
All right.
As of today, the next time that you miss an episode of RAWDOWN, you will be stripped of the Prediction Championship.
Boom.
Yes. Order has been restored.
You don't have this. You don't have this this Roman Reigns, this contract, you show up when it meant. No, you're a fighting champion.
Boom.
You show up on every episode or you're stripped, and a new champion's going to be crowned. So
hinder the gender, baby.
What are you doing, brother? You're letting these guys get in your head. You're letting them poison you. Don't listen to these guys.
Look, man, I'm all about it. You're my boy, but you have to be a fighting champ.
Fighting champ, baby.
About time.
The RAWDOWN champion needs to be on Raw. The last thing I hate, the thing I hate the most is a part-time champion.
Part-time champion. We don't want.
I don't want to see a part-time champion, and that's what you're. It sounds like you're gloating that that's what you are, but we're not going to do that. Mm-hmm. So the next time you miss, stripped.
Well, I can't
get out of here, Cock Lesnar.
I can't be stripped. Nobody wants to see that.
The title. Look, we're not.
Of the title. Get your head out of the gutter.
Of the title.
He's not a bull.
We want to stay on the air.
Goddamn.
We want to stay on.
Well, look, President, thank you so much. Finally, you're bringing some order to the show. I mean, for a while, you were kind of screwing us over around WrestleMania season, but thankfully, you've come to your senses.
I came out here on retreat. I'm relaxed. I've had some. It's the tavern. I've had some drinks. Where
spiritual awakening.
We're having
tavern,
fun.
boy, and you try to make it.
There's a lot of style and grace up here.
Oh, I'm jealous.
President, thank you so much for your time.
Tom, get your head out of your ass. Let's go, buddy.
Goddamn.
Yeah. There we go. I'm the one making all.
Thank you, President. Picks. Good seeing you, President. We'll see you again soon.
Have fun. I'll be watching.
And just like that, if you miss another episode
around here, that's what I gotta say.
I don't think I'm not.
I don't think so. I think actually the three of us have been screwed over way more than you or any other outsider.
I know what it really is. The three of you are like, God, how do we get that guy who was so much better than us off the show?
You want for 2 months?
I don't think so.
2 months.
I feel like I can't until he does his CM Punk teary-eyed speech, his farewell speech.
I stubbed my toe.
I stubbed my toe.
Stub your toe on the way out, buddy.
One day I'll teach
Look at my foot. What do you see?
Well, folks, we've already got things off hot and heavy. Apparently, Tom's going to be a new member of the RAWDOWN, or else he's not going to be champion anymore. And you know what? Just for you, Tom, I'll throw up that belt for you right here. Well, it's on Jay.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
We'll put it right here.
Oh, there you go.
But alas, he is our champion. Real quick before we get into the episode, because we have a lot to discuss over this weekend, I want to call out some of our viewers tonight. Tyson is in the chat. Thank you for watching. Nick Storm is here. Tom's the champ of the people. Ace Field is also in the building, rocking my Justin Bieber look. Oh, thank you very much. I had to throw on the.
Well, no, Justin Bieber going out to grab groceries in Soho.
We all know who young Anthony really looks like, right? It's not.
Who would that be?
You know, I'm pulling up the image right now.
I know it is.
It's Chicken Little. Is it Chicken Little?
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's Dexter's Laboratory.
Here it is, right here.
You are just so stupid.
Look at I got to put the whole show on pause for him to get one of his PNGs out.
Oh my
there he is.
There he is.
There he is. That's all ridiculous. Right. That's great for audio listeners.
Yeah, that's great for audio. This will be cut. Yeah. Anyways, folks, we have a amazing episode lined up for you. Plus, we have some amazing changes to the RAWDOWN. Not only will Tom be on the show for what seems to be the foreseeable future, but
until July 2nd.
Yes, when he loses the title. Until then, though,
God, I win again.
No, I don't think so. Until then, though, folks.
Yes, fear I smell in the air.
I smell something.
No, I farted, actually.
Look, we're entering this new era of RAWDOWN. We're starting off the summer, and we want to start on a good note, which is why we've made a little bit of a change, a very impromptu change to the RAWDOWN for our visual users. Tom, do you have a little drum roll on that doohickey you have?
If you would like a drum roll here.
And here it is.
Here it is.
Ta-da! The new look of the RAWDOWN.
How cool is this?
Got a nice little overlay here, and we're going to see this as our new format throughout the entirety of the episode. It's like get used to it, folks.
It's like the Brady Bunch. Like, hey, Tom, how's it going?
Story. But
it's
yes, hope you guys.
The guy who gets the picks right at every pay-per-view.
Why didn't we just strip him of the title? We had the power to just strip him of the title. And
hey, Anthony.
Oh, hey, hello, Jibble. All right, we've wasted enough time. Let's get right into the start of today's show, and that is, of course, by starting off with the segment that we always start off with, and that is
Outside the Ropes.
Let us go into the Outside the Ropes news. And there's really only one thing that we're going to be talking about here. And
adrenaline in my soul,
in my pack. Oh my God, I tore my pack.
The most manliest of men in the entire world. That's what we're going to talk about right now.
He tore his titty.
Don't get us any more heat than you already got on yourself this weekend. But alas,
he had himself a torn titty, folks.
MVP Mark.
He got himself a torn titty. Yes, folks, we're going to start off by talking about the main story from this weekend. We thought Hell in a Cell was just going to be your average run-of-the-mill pay-per-view, but no. Here comes Cody Rhodes to change up everything on us. It was announced right before the show that Cody Rhodes had torn his pectoral muscle, if you see right there. Looked gnarly. A lot of people thought it was makeup. I thought it was makeup.
I was checking to see if it was rubbing off on people.
Yeah, no, I was too. What really sold it was when he was continuing the match and it just kept getting brighter and more red.
That really. Are we serious? Look how swollen it is.
Oh, yeah, look at so if you
like, goddamn people, what are you?
Yeah, if you're looking at his left arm, it was like jacked and ripped and like veins and everything. And then you look at his right arm and it's just fat. Like it was just like it looked like cellulite was around his bicep. It was real, folks. It was. I see a lot of.
It looks like my arm.
It's makeup and special effects. Oh my God! Look at the lengths they're gonna go to put him over. It's like, no,
dude.
He bleeds. He breathes. He walks wrestling, and he would not take a day off for anything. Not even a torn
stub toes. No stub toes in the building.
So it is.
But yes, so Cody Rhodes tore his pec and still went 25 minutes with Seth Rollins inside the Hell in a Cell.
Well, 24 minutes.
24 minutes. What are you guys' initial thoughts on what was your reaction to? I feel like we all had the same reaction to the torn pec. But what do you guys think of the performance from Cody? Let's start with you, Tom. Go right ahead.
Dude, for a guy to go out and do what he did, it was insane. I don't know what he did to convince Vince to let him go out there and wrestle. But damn, what a friggin' man. Like, holy crap. And the match he put on with that, I think he's got a whole new level of respect across the whole industry, across people who've hated on him. I've seen him tweet it saying, forget anything I've ever said about this man. Like he just proves how much he bleeds wrestling and how much he loves it. And you know what? It's about time a lot of other people see it who've been hating on him for so long.
I'm going to it.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm going to echo those sentiments exactly. So I kind of read a little bit of there was a doctor who talked about kind of like the science behind this a little bit. And basically, because it was torn, obviously, he could have caused more damage, but not to the pectoral muscle. It could have been surrounding muscles. However, because all the muscles weren't rigid yet, and they were just kind of loose. The tear was pretty fresh, or fresh enough. He was able to work because he wasn't going to be anything where he's going to hurt himself further. I mean, there was a chance, but it was a low probability. So that's partially why the doctors kind of were able to clear him. And I guess it was kind of probably up to Cody's wishes. Hey, look, these are the chances. This is what happens. And then I'm sure between that and talking with Vince, Cody was like, I'm down for it. It's going to make for great TV. Plus, I mean, they didn't really have another choice, you know, because they didn't advertise. I mean, they could have gone to like the women's triple threat, I guess, made that a Hell in a Cell or something. That's kind of what I was thinking was going to happen. But I want to shout out to real quick Seth freaking Rollins as well too.
Yes,
okay, because I want to give him his flowers, because there is still, I don't know why, those in the internet wrestling community, a pocket of them, that still say he's dangerous because he hurt Seth Rollins and he hurt Finn Balor.
Well, he hurt Sting.
Yeah, or excuse me. Yeah, what did I say?
Yeah,
Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins.
I'm sorry.
It hurts Sting if you watch that.
Right.
Yeah, documentary on the
exactly, exactly. And the Finn Balor was a freak accident. Okay,
like John Cena's nose.
Yeah, John Cena's nose.
Well, that he definitely did.
Yeah, that he did. But like, it's not ballet, folks. Okay, but you know, this speaks to like just the overall beauty of professional wrestling. How you go in there and you take care of your opponent, no matter what, and that's what Seth did. You know, he took care of his opponent, but made it look so fucking good. Yeah, like you felt everything about it. So I mean, and then the way the match was laid out, I don't know who laid the match out, who did what. Everything about this was just like this is an all timer. Like, I mean, it's not gonna be like a top 25 or anything like that, but this is gonna be like a memorable match. Definitely.
It's going to be a match that WWE highlights for a long time just because of the lore behind it and the story surrounding it. I do want to get into this comment real quick, and Ace really says the same thing. Acefield Retro in the chat. Cody deserves all the praise, but let's not forget to give Seth his due for a guy who had a bad rap for hurting guys. Like you said, J-Bone, he worked so safely with Cody without sacrificing the quality. That is absolutely correct. Yep. I'm going to throw this one up here, and we'll just see what the reaction is.
Hot takes here. Get your hot takes here.
To me, this has to be... Now, I haven't watched all of Cody's AEW stuff, and that's the majority of where his best matches are going to come in from. But to me, this has to be Cody's best match, taking everything into consideration. The fact that he went out there, went 24 minutes with Cody, with Seth Rollins in the Hell in a Cell. And although Seth was working very safe, like if you go back and watch the match, you know, Seth is working the entire opposite side of Cody's body the entire time, is very safe with a lot of his moves. Although, you know, all of this is still, you know, it was a very safe match for him. It was still pretty brutal. You know, the fact that, you know, I was wincing at kickouts from Cody really goes to show you what type of a match we were watching. I think this transcends, you know, the level of storytelling or whatever it may be. This is it. There's not much you could really say about it in the fact that it's just, it was almost like magic to watch, for lack of a better term. I know that's like, you know, kind of weird to say, but like it really was like, you know, the fact that they were doing all these different stuff. Cody looked phenomenal in this match with his torn pec. Seth, as we've mentioned, looked absolute like a pro. You know, we've seen some great matches from Seth and these two, you know, in the last few months. This, I think, is easily their best match. And, you know, if this was just their typical match and there wasn't the, you know, the torn pec and everything, I think we would be talking about it differently. I'm sure we would see a completely different match. But with that being said, with everything taken into consideration, this has to be Cody's best match that I've seen of his, without a doubt. Marco, I want to ask you a question because we haven't heard from you yet, but, you know, there are a lot of people that said, you know, they really shouldn't have allowed him to wrestle. I mean, in the state and the condition that he was in. What's your take on that? Do you think that they should have, you know, held off on this match, or do you think, you know, it was Cody's decision, so it was the right way to go?
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, especially with obviously now seeing what his, you know, half of his body looked like after he pulled that jacket off. Because I think when they were making the announcements in the ring, and then, you know, he was kind of holding his jacket like this. And then, you know, when he pulled that jacket off, everyone was just like, the whole crowd just went silent. I think like, they weren't, I mean, it was a really great match, like, but I think people were just in shock at like the amount of like pain that looks. I mean, I can't even imagine. But when he came out on Raw and he said, he did a speech after that match, and he said basically, that was his decision to go out there and do it because it's for the love. He loves professional wrestling. It's in his blood. That's what he's gonna do. Was it the right decision? I mean, that's totally up to Cody. I have no say in what his decision making is. I mean, if I had an injury like that, I probably wouldn't want to go out there, maybe because I would be afraid that I would hurt it even more. But obviously, I'm not that level of athlete that Cody is. And just to bring up the fact that when you talk about Seth Rollins, you're talking about a guy like Seth Rollins.
Marco T in the house.
So if you ever listen to DDP Snake Pit with DDP and Jake, man, they talk about just being in the ring, and it's life or death essentially when you're in the ring. So you have to have somebody in there that's going to protect you at all costs, essentially. Yep. And they both protected each other. Not obviously more the lifting one with Seth Rollins, but also Cody could have hurt him too, man.
Yeah,
I mean, with that damaged arm, what if he did a move wrong and dropped Cody on his head, or if they were doing like a flying spot? He's using one arm essentially. So hats off to both of them, but definitely, I mean. Yeah, it's like you said. There's not much you could say about this match. It was just like an incredible thing to watch. That's not even just Cody himself, just a human being, go through that. Actually, and then a lot of people are bringing up on Twitter, hockey players do it. Like they'll get injuries like that, and they'll go back on the ice and start playing still. It's nothing. I didn't really see any football or basketball or anything like that, but I've seen a lot of comparisons with hockey. And this isn't ballet, that type of thing. And I mean, he's getting put up there with the toughest of with athletes, which are hockey players, man. So
I mean, as he should. This is something I showed this to my friend who is a very passive wrestling fan, and even he was like, "Holy shit! This is," because you never seen something like this.
Never.
You got to think like Kobe Bryant with the torn Achilles.
Yeah.
He's up there with that, man. I mean, if you
MJ,
want to
the flu game.
The flu game. That was a work. He was hungover from partying, and he went in and Scotty Pippen carried him away. But
you're absolutely right though. This kind of transcends sports to me. This definitely is a performance that we can look towards on that. And this kind of gets you thinking there's only so much you could say about the match itself. Well, what about after the match? Because obviously this is going to have some ramifications for a torn pec. I'm pretty sure it's 4 to 6 months. He'll need surgery. He's going to get that surgery tomorrow, or is it? I think it's tomorrow. He's getting the surgery tomorrow, and he's going to be out minimum 4 months, maximum 6 months. As Boney chops along with his scissors. What is the WWE going to do without Cody? This is a huge blow to them.
I think we'll talk about that a little bit later on.
We'll definitely talk about that a little bit later. But I mean, just thinking about the things that it changes for the summer, obviously I think Money in the pretty much everything. Money in the Bank changes. I think a lot of your SummerSlam plans change. Obviously your top face is not in the company anymore, so you have to work around that, which we're going to be talking about later on. This is an interesting time for them, but it could also lead to a lot of other stars taking that spotlight, running with it. Riddle had a really great showing, not just yesterday on Raw, but also on SmackDown.
SmackDown was really good.
We're gonna talk about Riddle versus the Usos. Practically, it was a handicap match, but there's a lot of things that are going to be changing for WWE this summer alone. And although it sucks that Cody's not going to be around for his first true year in the WWE fully, this could open a lot of doors for some other guys like Riddle, like Austin Theory. So it's interesting time, but we'll see what happens. With that being said, because we have so much else to get into, I want to take a quick moment to go through some comments that we missed. Thank you guys for lighting it up in the comments tonight. We are going to go through these real quick. I want to give a shout out to Mo the Fig God. Thank you for joining us. Glad that you were able to make it in. Nick Storm says, my idea for a manly man was someone jacked with an 80s porn stash and a mullet, but instead it's Fred from Scooby-Doo, and I couldn't be happier.
Oh, I love Scooby-Doo.
Well, don't forget, Cody did have a sweet stash back in the day when he was in WWE.
Whoa!
Go back and check that out.
Mirrors.
Dashing Cody.
Dashing Cody Rhodes, of course. Nick Storm says, I'm glad Cody wrestled because there are some instances where wrestlers are out 6+ months and you don't get to see the injury. This felt like the perfect sense because people saw the oh fuck moment.
Yeah.
Or saw the send off. We have Courtney in the chat. Young Anthony, the donut is the world.
Oh,
the donut in a world full of bagels. I like that one.
What kind of bagels we talking though? Because
donut brain, maybe.
Courtney probably missed our little reference earlier, so I just got a little reminder.
Have you ever? I'm not sure if she's ever had a.
Look at you! You're fucking up my graphics. We should have stripped you of the title when we had the chance. Damn it, son of a bitch. But thank you.
Hey, you messing me up here, pal.
Hey, we'll get to you in a second. We gotta get to our comments.
John
Nick
Cena?
Storm also says, and both Ace and Nick Storm say that this and the Dustin match are equal. Yeah. Ace also mentions him versus Okada versus Ibushi in New Japan 2018 is my favorite from his Japan run. Haven't seen a lot of his Japan run. Circle of Debate is in the chat. Thank you for joining us. This by far has been a great storytelling match for Cody. His AEW matches were more based on pro wrestling with no storytelling in the ring. It was more based on moves, but this was story. I don't know if I would.
He told story in his matches in AEW.
There was definitely some story. Cody and Dustin was a story,
Yeah, Cody and Dustin. You don't tell any more of a story.
MJF
was a story. Even to an extent, Malachi.
Jericho.
So there was definitely a lot of story there. Chad is in the chat, loves the new overlay. Thank you. This was a last-minute decision, and I'm glad it's working out well.
Great job.
Thank you. Appreciate it. And also, Nick Storm says, good point, Marco. Porn stash codester making a return. All right. So that is it for the Outside the Ropes news, but it is now time to get inside the ring.
Collar and elbow.
Is collar and elbow a word that's banned by WWE on TV? Because you never hear them say it.
That music, that whole thing, the bumper really turns me on. So,
yeah.
All right. It's time to get. How do I follow that? How do I follow
that?
You just gotta pretend it and take a close
ride.
Just keep snipping away.
Seriously, they never say collar and elbow lockup on WWE.
They don't.
Is it a banned word of theirs?
It must be. Must be banned with a lot of words that they have. Collar and elbow. Let's get into it. This was the story that I wanted to start off the episode with.
Let's do it, because man, I'm hot about this.
Reincarnation.
You think you know me?
Apparently,
You
nobody
never
knows
did.
what the fuck is going on with Edge anymore.
Fucking sucks.
So let's paint the picture. Last night, Judgment Day is stronger than ever. They come out after their win against what I like to call the Live Club. And all of a sudden, we get news at the top of the show that in 2 hours, we get the Judgment Day clock. In 2 hours,
Love it.
Judgment Day will be including a new member to their team. Who is it going to be? Well, at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we learned that it was Finn Balor. Finn Balor comes out, he says that he sees the light or whatever. And Damian Priest then takes the mic and he says, we are strong. We are doing so great right now. All that we need to do is cut off the little bit of dead weight that's still on us. And then he looks at Edge and he says, and that's you. And the whole crowd gasps, which was a very good crowd reaction, I must say. And huge attack on Edge. All of Judgment Day beats him down, throws him through the announcer's table. chokes him out with the lead pipe thing that you kick off of the steel chair that Edge was doing for a while. And they do the concerto, and Edge was down and out. And as you see, we have the official Judgment Day with Rhea Ripley, Damian Priest, and Finn Balor. So, J-Bone, you were very vocal about this last night in our group text, so I will let you take this one because I have some words.
He's
gonna puke! He's gonna puke!
This fucking sucks, okay?
I love it.
It's so stupid. Okay, so first of all,
I thought Marco joined Judgment Day for a second.
Hey, this is my time, pal.
The screen just went dark.
All right, so first of all, everything was going great. Everything was going great. You know, you had, you know, they were finally like pulling in this dominant faction, starting to get them, you know, get everybody rolling, right? You could see that Rhea was finally getting something done, doing something. Damian was finally doing something. You have Edge, who just turned heel back in, like, what was it, March, beginning of March. Okay, cut his hair, right? You got new music, you know, all this awesome shit, right? And because Cody Rhodes is now out, we're going to scramble. So let's turn Edge babyface. That's what we're going to do. And we're going to kick him out of the group that he created. And it's still going to be Judgment Day. Like, this makes absolutely no sense now. It's so stupid. I mean, everything about this just doesn't make sense. And I don't know. I mean, it just completely halted all of their momentum. Because let's face it, Finn. It's not like Finn has been like killing the world lately, right? Okay, he's been losing like crazy.
Exactly. You're making a point here against what I'm going to say, but keep going.
No, yeah, okay. Yeah. Well, go ahead. What are you going to say?
This is the first time I have interest in the group. Like, I hated.
Well, I know, but what are you going to say about Finn specifically?
3 guys came together that was going to be in this goth group.
No. 2 people came together with a loser, and Finn Balor.
Okay,
and they left a winner in Edge.
Judgment Day. I'm talking about the original Judgment Day. These 3 guys said, "Oh, let's do a goth group." It made no sense. Now we have.
Nobody said it was a goth group, though. Nobody said it was a goth group.
By their entrance and everything, like you couldn't assume.
It doesn't mean it's a goth group.
It is very gothy.
Because it was spooky. It was spooky.
So
you
now
didn't hear the words that were talking.
Now you bring 3 people together who
you're not listening to their words
and not given a chance on the main roster, and they're coming together to make their point. I'm here for this so much more than
Nexus 2.0. Yeah, Nexus 2.0.
This has nothing to do with Nexus.
Hold on, Tom. I gotta do it correctly. Hold on.
Hot takes here. Get your hot takes here.
Nexus was a bunch of up-and-comers. This is guys who've been on the main rosters who have
Damian Priest, Finn Balor, Rhea Ripley. I mean,
Finn Balor's not an up-and-comer. He's been there.
Finn Balor's not.
Finn Balor is 40.
Finn got knocked down. Okay, I'll give you that. Finn got knocked down, but it doesn't matter. It's still the same situation.
We
didn't get what we wanted, so you know what we're gonna do is we're gonna cause havoc.
Speaking of which, the 12-year anniversary of Nexus debuting on Raw.
But well, Wade Barrett did it better, so
it's just a different situation. It's nothing like Nexus. These are 3
I'm afraid I got some bad news.
Never
Barrett Barrage.
And young Anthony was chatting last night, like, okay, they got to do this right and make Rhea Ripley win, and they did it last night. Like, WWE booked something right. I thought for sure.
I mean, that's fine.
Going to win. I hope these 3 go on a tear. Because all 3 of them are talented. I would love to see Finn Balor get the shot he deserves and be the Finn Balor
as a heel.
He can be.
Yep. Who's he going to go? Who's he going to go against?
Who's he going to go against? Any face in the company, which right now is like 2 people. But
yeah, exactly.
And you talk about Edge. They just wrote him off TV for who knows how long with what happened last night. So it's not like he's going to be the new face of the company right now.
You don't know that. He gets back next week. But based off this booking, it's been so hot-shotted. It's terrible.
I love this. I'm so much.
This is officially like Judgment Day. I don't want to hear about it. Judgment Day ever again. It fucking sucks. House of Black is where it's at.
I need someone to step up.
like House of Black, you cannot bring the House of Black onto this show. This is
why you don't want to improve the show.
Yeah, well, exactly.
I mean,
it's
if we wanted to improve the show, we would have kicked you out. But Marco, take this one because I've got a rant. I got a rant.
Because there's a guy named Buddy in a House of Black. That's a menacing name. So,
and they got a cheerleader too. Wait, before we get into into Marco talking about it, let's just quick comment. Nick Storm says, I was all about Finn joining. I got the hot shot making Edge the babyface because Cody's out, but man, fuck. This still felt like it should have come in around 2 or 3 months from now.
For some reason,
hear me out on it in a little bit. Last thing, go ahead, Marco.
I don't think this has anything to do with Cody leaving. That's my thing.
I think it does.
Edge cannot replace what Cody has been doing since he stepped foot in that company at WrestleMania.
But there's nobody else. There's nobody else.
No, but I don't think he's taken that babyface spot. I think this is just another part of the storyline for Judgment. There's still the mid card. That whole storyline is still mid card. It's gonna stay in the mid card. It's not moving to the main event or anything like that. It's staying where it's gonna stay. That's my own
mid,
thing.
bro.
But you have I'm gonna say Riddle. I think Riddle's gonna probably not take Cody's spot, but he's gonna be that that main face for the baby face area in WWE. You have Bobby.
If they're trying to replace, sorry to cut you off, Marco, but if they're trying to replace Cody, why wouldn't you just put Finn in that position? If they wanted to, you could have just put Finn, who's already the baby face.
That's the thing. That's my thing is I don't think they're trying to I don't think they're trying to replace or put anybody in that spot that Cody has. Like you have John Cena coming back. That's a guy that takes over Cody's spot as far as the white meat baby face. So if John Cena stays around, that's why I'm not even looking at Edge as getting kicked out of Judgment Day and taken over as the main baby face because John Cena's coming back. He completely shoves the Edge out of the way, pushes the Edge off the edge, so to speak. Wait
a second. I gotta give you your props.
Well, that ain't a knee slapper, buddy.
I think this is just another way for Edge to help these three out because I think he definitely sees these three as in his promos he's been saying that he's like they stepped up, they want to take what's theirs, blah blah blah, all that stuff, and I think he's still going to be behind the scenes working this group. I don't think just because if they write him off TV, which I think he might come back next week or the week after and cut a promo and all that stuff, but I think he's still going to have control of Judgment Day, but behind the scenes and kind of navigate this group. I don't think it's a lost cause because Finn Balor, and then all the people complaining that Finn Balor hasn't been on TV. They're burying him. They're making him fight for this title and that title. He's in the 24 set. Now he's in kind of a primetime spot. Oh, this sucks. Get him off. He shouldn't be a judge.
Exactly.
It's what do you want?
Exactly.
It's you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't with Finn Balor. It's I want to clap for the guy. He's actually in a good storyline for once.
Marco spitting fire truth facts here, 100%. Now here, let me say one thing.
Hot takes here. Get your hot takes here.
I'm giving kudos to WWE and their creative for realizing something wasn't working. They found a way to make it better.
It was working.
Changing their plan in the middle and going with it.
It was working, but it's still working.
It's still working. It's working.
Can I go on my rant now because I've got
go ahead. Go Chicken Little.
We definitely have to hear for the main advocate of the Judgment Day. Let's hear this.
Yeah, I was the stage manager for Judgment Day before there was some new management. But
go ahead, buddy, take it away.
Look, where do I begin on this? First of all, let me say the swerve caught me off guard. I did not expect it, and I did not like it at first because I thought Edge, Damian. I've said it for weeks now. All you needed is Edge, Damian, and Rhea. You didn't need to add a fourth person, but I understand adding a fourth person to do the tag team stuff so that Edge doesn't have to wrestle. But then it got me thinking, we're missing the whole point of the story. why did Edge start Judgment Day to begin with? Why was Judgment Day started in the first place? It's because of wrestlers being overlooked, right? Underappreciated. In his first promo, or I should say his second promo, because the first one he did was very short. It was like 2 lines. He was like, "You think you know me? Edge, you don't know me." Blah, blah, blah. The second promo, when he comes out, he's got the new music. He's got the cool entrance and everything. He comes out and he says when he came back, he let everyone step all over him, right? Roman, Seth, Randy. So now he has the, AJ woke up this thing in him that, he's tapping into his other side, his mountain of omnipotence. Now he's awoken this new side of Edge that, as he would go on to explain in further promos, was birthed from his history with the Brood and the Ministry. I think people get too caught up in the fact that they're comparing it to the House of Black like we do, but I do it for jokes every now and then. But to be honest, this isn't a House of Black kind of thing. It's not a cult. Let's take it down.
Agreed on that.
So anyways, Edge wants to start up the Judgment Day because he tells, Damian Priest, you're overlooked. I want you to come in. Now, look at how great you are. Even last night, he's hyping up how great Damian Priest is, how great he looked at Hell in a Cell, blah, blah, blah. Then he brings in Rhea Ripley. Same thing. Rhea Ripley was losing with Liv Morgan, looked ridiculous. And now here she is in Judgment Day, has black hair, has this new outfit. Everything is cool. Everything is great. However, another reason why Edge started Judgment Day clearly was to fight the uneven battle between him and AJ Styles, because AJ also brought in Finn to fight the battle. Hold on to that for a minute. So Edge brings in Damian and Rhea to fight up against AJ Styles. In the meantime, let's also remember Edge is one of the top stars in the WWE. No way to look around it. Even with this new heel persona, he's still one of the top stars. So don't you think having Edge as the top guy in this stable, as the leader of the stable, overshadows Damian and Rhea? Hold on to that. AJ brings in Finn Balor to be his second-hand man to fight up against the Judgment Day. Don't you think having AJ Styles, who's a former WWE champion, former multi-time champion, obviously the bigger star, overshadows Finn Balor? So then we get to yesterday. We have Finn coming out. 4 of them are in the ring. Damian says we have this one little piece that we need to cut off, and that's Edge. Kicking Edge out of Judgment Day, this was the perfect time to do it. You can't wait any longer, because the whole point is that now, with Edge out of the question, this unleashes the full potential of the group because there's no one overshadowing them. Look at it this way. At the end of this segment, Finn is standing in the middle. At the end of the night, Rhea's standing in the middle. What does that tell me? There's no leader of the group. They all are leading themselves. This is the whole point of Judgment Day, is these underappreciated wrestlers, Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley, Finn Balor, who have been doing nothing over the last few months, finally join forces without a clear leader or anyone holding them back. And now they're going to take what is rightfully theirs. It was never a cult. It was never a House of Black spooky thing. The lights and everything, I think, were just for presentation to make it look cool or whatever. But you needed to get Edge out of there because he's overshadowing them. And that's the whole point of the story. No one's overshadowing them anymore because now Damian and Rhea have used Edge to see their full potential. They also, keep in mind, recruited Finn to come to the group. It wasn't Edge recruiting Finn. It was Damian and Rhea, because they see what's going on in the group. They relate to Finn Balor because he feels overshadowed by AJ Styles. So now all of a sudden, they feel that they need to be a strong tandem without a strong leader. And now going forward, this is the Judgment Day that you should be seeing. And now I'll drop the mic.
Wow. I don't know what I'm more impressed by, your point or somebody using, in the meantime, overshadowed and hold on to this more times in a sentence than you just did.
That was a clinic, dude. That was a wow.
Agree with you 100%. You made a hell of a point. I loved
Nope.
everything of it.
Sucks.
Shut up. Look at you.
Fucking hate it.
With your Nexus. Maybe they'll bring in David Otunga into the Judgment Day just to
You're
just
the
to
Nexus.
tickle your fancy.
Oh, you're against us.
Where's
Finn Balor
Skip
starts saying
Sheffield?
that.
I hear Ryback's not doing much. Maybe we could bring Skip Sheffield in.
That's true.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
but
This
that's
whole
I've been
thing
waiting.
sucks.
I've been waiting 24 hours to get that off my
Sucks.
chest.
How long did it take you to prepare that?
Not long, because if you watch the first promo that Edge did, you read between the lines, and it's so easy to figure
It's
it out.
calculated.
It's all about just going back and following the story, which so many fans, like this asshole over here, doesn't do.
I followed the story. They could have done
Clearly
this.
you didn't.
They could have
Clearly
done this
you
2 or
didn't.
3 months down the line.
I'm gonna need Chad to
I think
clip
it's too
that,
long.
put it up on the socials, or maybe I'll do it too, just because But
Yeah,
yes,
I think
that
dragging
is-
this on for 3 more months would have kind of. I think it would have ran its course.
Yeah.
If you,
It
if
wouldn't
you
have
did
fit the
3 more
story.
months
It's
down the
been
line.
going on for 2 months.
Exactly. That's all they needed. Think of it that way.
Yeah.
You only need
It's
2 months out of
stupid.
Edge. You join the group together.
It's stupid.
How is
It
it
makes no
stupid,
sense.
though?
It's a waste of time.
I don't think it's a waste of time.
Yeah, but
If
it's not-
anything, doing another 3 months of Edge as the leader would have been a waste of time. Because where
Yeah.
are they going to go
Yeah,
from
What
there?
does that do with the other 3 or the
It
other
makes
2?
no sense. It's like, well, you're gonna break up a faction within 2
They're
months.
not broken up though. They're still together.
They're not broken up.
Just minus Edge.
They're
Get
still
rid
a
of the
team.
leader.
Hey, just wait
within
till
2
Finn
months.
Balor has a 60-minute draw next week. J-Bone's going to implode.
Yeah, right. Well, also, another thing is, if Finn Balor was the face going into this feud with Judgment Day and Edge was still as the heel, do you think Finn has a single chance to win up against the Judgment Day? That's why you put Finn as a heel here, because now you change it up a little bit, and now you have 3 guys who are evenly matched.
Or you have
two
a
guys and
cool
one girl.
fucking faction, which WWE
Yeah, but what do you
hasn't
do
done
with
in-
them
in
after that?
years.
At least
They
now
still
you have
do.
Finn, Damian, and Rhea. I think I'll give you this. They have the Edge feud. I see them doing Finn versus Edge for the summer, so this is their summer feud. They need to capitalize off of this momentum that they have in the Edge feud after it, because that's going to be the true test. I'll come back after SummerSlam, a few weeks from then, and I'll really say what I think about this, because until then, you're not gonna know what's going to happen.
Well,
See,
here
I
I think
Oh, go ahead, Marco.
I think it will be AJ. I think AJ will be the feud with Finn, and I think to boost Damian Priest, Edge will feud with Damian Priest, where he was the one that actually kind of kicked Edge out of the group. With dropping that that dead weight, and obviously Edge kind of took a liking to Damian Priest. He was the first member of the Judgment Day, so I think to help boost Damian, because I look at Damian Priest, I see like Edge, like kind of like Edge characteristics, like the same build, the same almost kind of like the same moveset, the same tenacity and intensity that Edge had when he was younger. So I could see him kind of taking over that Edge position. Edge feuding with Damian Priest, I think. And I think I've been wanting to see an AJ Styles Finn Balor feud at some point, because they haven't had that yet. I think they faced each other at that pay-per-view that Roman Reigns. Oh no, it was sorry, Bray Wyatt. He couldn't make it against Finn Balor, and AJ Styles had to step in at the last minute because it was just a match. I've been wanting to see like a feud with these 2 guys for like a while, and it's perfect with AJ Styles as the face in this, and Finn Balor as the heel, as like the the leader of a faction. I think it's pretty cool.
This sucks. This sucks.
I give him a whole
This
description
sucks.
following.
Da, da,
He
da,
still
da,
can't.
da,
I think
da,
J Bone's an
da.
Edge guy. I think he's an Edge fan.
I am an
Yeah,
Edge
sure.
fan. I am an
An
Edge
Edge head.
fan. They,
He's
like
an
he
Edge
is.
head, man. That's fine though. That's fine.
He's
Edge will
fine.
get back up on his feet.
Edge is easily one of the top 20 wrestlers of all time, and it's just
Well, look at that. Now you get to root for him
knows?
because now he's the
It's
baby
terrible.
face. Now it
It's
makes
just-
sense.
Who knows?
it makes 0 sense.
Here's
Why would you do the heel turn?
Turning him heel.
Why would you do the heel
I
turn?
told you why you do the heel turn, because it fits the story.
Yeah.
The story's stupid. I'm sorry.
It's not.
Anthony.
It's really not.
Story
That's
makes more
dumb.
sense than Judgment Day ever did.
Did he really turn heel?
Judgment Day makes sense now.
Yeah. Did he really turn heel, or did he just awaken the edge that we've all known before he left? Because he was never really the greatest baby face.
That's Austin Titan.
Exactly.
He was an a-hole, the rated R superstar. That's who
exactly.
That's who we're seeing. He wasn't really. He didn't really turn heel.
I feel like I'm Will Ferrell and Zoolander. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills right now.
But who knows? We might even see Judgment Day crash the arrival of John Cena. That could be a feud going into.
I have a question for you guys. Speaking of John Cena, his return, is he just back for one night just to celebrate his 20th anniversary?
Well, we're gonna get there in just a moment.
Dinner.
That is a good question to ask because we've already hit so much time on this Judgment Day talk, rightfully so, because it is.
No, it sucks. We wasted way too much time. Sorry, folks.
I am
Anthony just gave you a clinic. He just took you to class.
Yeah, he did.
Still.
It's from my time at the Classic Match Classroom, which you can check out all of our older episodes.
I can't wait to be right in 2 months.
I can't wait to be wrong, but at least I cut that fire promo, so it makes up for it. Anyways, let's get on to our next topic. We're still at the collar and elbow, and what do we want to do? We want to run down just a little bit of Hell in a Cell, just the other matches that happened.
In a cell.
In a cell. I thought the show. Oh yeah, I thought the show overperformed. I think this is the same type of show as we got as Backlash in that.
But I'm not good enough to call Backlash.
In that it was truly a 2-match card, right? Opening and closing matches. But in between, the kind of quote unquote filler that you got it sufficed. Like it was very good.
It wasn't bad.
I'm really glad we didn't have any bullshit finishes.
Right.
Everything was for the most part clean. I thought that was really, really good.
Yep.
I really love the triple threat match with the women's. I think that overperformed big time.
Mm-hmm. Big time Becky Lynch.
Yeah. Obviously, the main event was amazing. I love. I love the Ezekiel Kevin Owens match. I thought that was really good. I was in tune with that. I love the. It really wasn't a bad match on this card, to be honest with you.
Even Bobby Lashley and Omos in the handicap match with MVP. I mean, MVP made the difference, man, in that match.
Yeah,
definitely. Like you throw MVP in there, and it wasn't just a Omos versus Bobby Lashley match. I think he definitely made that match. But at the end, like I said, you have Bobby Lashley in that babyface spot too. He's definitely staking his claim for the title as well. So, I mean, he grabbed that dude's replica title and started parading around with it. So, Cody being gone, kind of it sucks, but there are guys there that are gonna kind of step in, not fill his position, but step in as like the kind of contenders for Roman's. And we still haven't heard from Randy either.
Randy.
So, who knows?
I mean, you guys really said it. I think that Ezekiel Kevin Owens match definitely overperformed for me. I mean, I think the only thing that really kind of I didn't love was the Theory and Ali match. Well, one because I got the prediction wrong, but also I hate that they do this. And this feels especially weird because Ali. They give him this whole big announcement like, oh, he's Chicago born, blah, blah, blah. He comes out with this his CM Punk gear. Like Mussolini. He comes out with his CM Punk gear, with the Chicago stars. His family's in the front row and everything, and easily loses to Riddle. Riddle.
They always do that. They always do that in the hometown.
Anthony, have you not done anything yet? You never go.
No, I know that they always do it, but this time around, with the gear and everything, and his family's there. Like, this felt a lot more different. Plus the fact that Ali was on Main Event last night. I don't know if you guys heard.
He needed his win so bad.
He needed this win. Part of me thinks this is a test for him. Just to see how he reacts, perhaps. Yeah. But I don't know. This was not a good look for him. But yeah, I think all the matches really stood out. Any other just final thoughts on Hell in a Cell?
I love these little fun pay-per-views. The 2.5 hour, not loaded with too many matches thing. I hope they keep that up because that really works well for them.
Well, we got a stretch of long ones coming up, I think.
Oh yeah, 100%. Well, before we get into the second half of the Collar and Elbow, I do want to go through some comments real quick because we currently have 9 viewers in the chat. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you like what you heard, make sure that you leave a like on this video and keep that comment section active and subscribe. Guys, we hit 700 subscribers on YouTube. Holy shit. Thank you guys so much.
We love you all.
We love you all. So let's go through some comments real quick. Let's see. Where did I leave off? Here we are. Ace said, this certainly wasn't the long-term plan, knee-jerk reaction to create a babyface. This is straight from the Bullet Club playbook. Prince Devitt was booted from Bullet Club and thrived from them. I guess it's definitely a reaction, but they wrote off Edge with this attack, unless he comes back next week and he's completely fine. But I don't know if they would go to that extent not to write him off. I think that's also something to consider. He also says that Finn as a heel is money emoji. And you are definitely right there. Nick also agrees. Nick Arias is in the chat from the Ring Fanatics podcast. He says that Edge is going to be in that top position. Ace also says Cena's mission for coming back is for one thing and one thing only: establish Theory as a main eventer. I don't think they want to stray from that plan. And we're going to be talking about Cena in a little bit. Nick Arias also says, I thought this would have been a perfect chance to call up Joe Gacy from NXT. Just remove the wokeness from him, and you got a new dark leader for the group. But I'm still excited for this Finn. Yeah, Joe. Me and Marco.
I like where you're going,
but I would have liked it better, to be honest with you. So
no, well, you would have liked it. You would have liked fucking Heath Slater to pop up with Justin Gabriel.
Fucking Heath Slater is great, baby.
I got kids.
Ace says, when was the last time WWE took a risk and swerved us? I would have never thought that would be where they went. I'm here for that. Yeah, the swerve is definitely a huge thing here. Circle of Debate is in the chat. He says they need to add AJ to the stable. Your club version, WWE, yes, please.
No way. No, thank you.
I don't want to see the club.
No clubs, no OCs, no OGs.
It's run its course.
Hey,
the OGs.
I want to see the OG Fit Kid, though.
Yeah, the OG Fit Kid. That's the only one that matters.
Acefield just, giving props. Anthony's rant is a top 5 tavern promo on air.
If it made sense, but yeah.
Made perfect.
Go back and listen, J-Bone. And
I'll listen.
I'll listen. Oh, did you listen? Did you listen to any of the promos that Edge? All right, we won't get into it. A lot of comments. I'm going to skip around here. As we were talking, here's a hot take. Riddle could be a guy that's worth taking the belt from Roman and getting a huge rub.
Hot takes here. Get your hot takes here.
Uh-oh.
I don't
know
think
about
Riddle
that.
could be a huge star. I don't think he's the guy who's going to take the belts from Roman.
No, he definitely title contention. Yeah, not the guy to take it from Roman. No.
Yeah.
You're not that guy, pal.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me, you're not that guy.
It's probably going to be Mac, man. It's going to be McIntyre, I think.
Oh, God.
Well, we'll get there in a second. But I also just want to say hello to Austin is in the chat. Thank you for joining us, Austin. And good old Mike Bellcaster.
I know that guy.
I know that guy too. Mike,
this is an AEW show, bro.
Yeah.
What are you doing here, Mike Bellcaster? You got lost? Stick around if you want to.
Must be really bored.
Must be really bored from checking out the Raw now. Anyways, all right, let's get back into Collar and Elbow. As we have a few more things to talk about. We alluded to it before, so let's just get right into it. John Cena is making his return June 27th, the 20th anniversary of his debut in WWE. And he is scheduled to make his appearance on Monday Night Raw. Now, of course, this got a lot of people speculating on why he's coming back. I think the main thing that a lot of people are pointing towards is, of course, the social media feud that he's had with Austin Theory, which will essentially lead to a match between the two of them at SummerSlam. However, there are a lot of different ways that you could go about Cena coming back. I know we mentioned Judgment Day going up against Cena, and that could be something that you could potentially do. But I do think the Theory route is the way to go. What do you guys think about Cena coming back? I saw this happening. I don't think this was a reaction to Cody. Tom, let's start with you.
I think it's just a one-night thing to celebrate his 20th anniversary, and I will tell you why. Ooh. Because I got a thing from the WWE. They send out that email when you're part of their participation group, their study group that I'm in. And they wanted to know if you wanted to see wrestlers brought back for one night only to celebrate their anniversaries.
Maybe.
Fan council. And that was one of their questions. Would you like to see John Cena back for one night to celebrate? And so it just so happens to be that night they're very close to where he's currently filming his movie. So it works out where it's scheduled to be there.
The Marine 7?
Yeah, the Marine 7 featuring wasn't Ted DiBiase in one of those? Ted DiBiase Jr. wasn't in one of those?
I think so.
Heath Slater was in one, baby.
He was. Cool, holy shit, I forgot about that. So is it likely that they do the Theory match on the 27th?
I don't think so.
No.
I think so. The future.
I think they do it at SummerSlam.
I think he comes. I think Austin Theory interrupts at the end. I don't know if we're going to see it at SummerSlam or maybe Mania next year.
Mania? Could be Money in the Bank. Could be a lot sooner. You never know.
A week before the event,
Theory,
they would do that?
Yeah, I think Theory's going to be in the Money in the Bank match, to be honest with you.
Yeah, true.
Makes sense, J-Bone.
Of course it does.
I mean, it's WWE. They could always just do a, Tom, you could be right, and that's just a one-night anniversary thing, and they just do a little segment between Cena and Theory, and just that's all you get from them.
Yeah, dinner.
Yeah, the social.
I love this idea.
Yeah.
Mike Belcaster says Cena beats Roman and Cody beats Cena. Do
I like that idea a lot. I love it.
Man, I would love to see Cena get the record for world championship title wins.
Yeah.
And then to have Cody beat him, I think that's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I like it.
No, you don't like Cena winning and dethroning Roman Reigns?
No.
I mean, it does make sense.
I mean,
he did squash him at SummerSlam, so why would we think Cena could beat him this time?
Taking into the context, like Roman has been built up for like close to 2 years now.
Yeah.
You put the title on someone that already beat him at SummerSlam. I mean, I understand.
Back, man, I'm telling you.
I understand putting like a match with Cody and Cena could be good.
I love it. Book it. Book it, Vince. Book it, you coward.
Do that. Book it, you coward. Mike Belcaster says Cena gets his record and Cena gives back to the talent. That's one way to look at it. But I also think you could just do Roman versus Cody. I don't really think you need the middleman there.
No.
And then you got the battle of two of wrestling's royal families.
Wrestling.
Yeah. More than one Ace also sounds off on this and he says, no way this Roman rub has been building up for so long and we give it to Cena. No, exactly. That's my thought.
All right. Good job, Ace.
I do think Mike was joking about the Cena inclusion because he also goes on to say WWE Brock versus Taker. It's going to happen. So take Mike Belcaster with a grain of salt. I love you, Mike.
Never take Mike Belcaster with a grain of salt.
I don't know about Cody being that middleman. Cena being that middleman, but
there's definitely something. There's definitely going to be something planned for that Monday after Money in the Bank.
I really want him to it'd be cool. And there are 3 different parts of the night. One night he comes out as the prototype. Then second segment comes out as Dr. Thugonomics. And then last segment.
I love it.
Well, I mean, we will see CENA on the 27th. We're going to have to wait and see what will happen with him. But I could see
enough.
Yeah, seen enough. But it could really go either way. That Tom, you mentioned the one night anniversary thing. It definitely could happen. I don't, because they did it for Randy, and they also did for
Randy.
Yeah, part of the questionnaire during fan council. I think that's what the group was called. I'm in. So see,
look at you, the elite group that you're in. How do I get easy access into the fan group that Tom?
You gotta buy a lot of shit.
Yeah, you gotta have a full room of figures, and then you can be included. All right, last little topic before we close out the collar and elbow. I'm gonna get that name right eventually. We also alluded to this: Roman and Riddle. So this kind of blends into, the whole talk of SmackDown, but, we also got yesterday. Well, first of all, he got on SmackDown. Riddle went up against the Usos in what was pretty much a handicap match. We're going to talk about that match a little bit later because it was a really good match. But I also want to say that yesterday, Riddle finally threw out the challenge to Roman Reigns to fight him for the undisputed Universal Heavyweight, Bantamweight, Cruiserweight Championship, Galaxy Universal,
24/7,
24/7/11, yeah.
365, I-95.
Finally challenged for the belt. So this starts what was rumored to be the trail for Roman, right? Riddle at Money in the Bank, Orton at SummerSlam, Clash of the Castle for Drew. Yep. What are you guys thinking about Riddle challenging for this title? I mean, Ace said it before. He thinks that he might be the one to take the belt off of him. So do you see that whatsoever? Marco, we'll start with you on this one.
I don't see him taking it off on his first, title, challenge from Roman. Definitely seeing it be a great match. Because Riddle's on fire right now. I mean, you go back and watch any of his matches that he's had this past year, and he's just been put on a clinic. I definitely see him facing Roman for the title. I just don't see him winning it anytime soon. It's definitely going to be the summer of Roman. He's just going to cruise through the summer as Universal Champion. I think his pit stop or his stop as champion will be Clash at the Castle. I think that's happening. I just have a weird feeling that Drew McIntyre is going to win that title in front of that crowd. Or that crowd's going to go home and be very dissatisfied with Roman.
I'm very dissatisfied. Roman's not losing it there. Roman's not losing it to at least Mania. He'll fight Riddle. Riddle will put up a good fight. We'll think he's going to win. He's not going to. Riddle's going to be one of the top guys in his company, but it's still like a year away at least.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think Roman's losing this title till SummerSlam of next year, at least.
Holy shit!
maybe Mania 40. To be honest with you,
someone hit the hot take button. I'm making graphics. Someone hit the hot take button.
You got it. I got it right here.
Hot takes here. Get your hot takes here.
Mania 40.
The only way I could see it is somehow, and I know people are talking about Drew being at this main event, if somehow Cody comes back by Clash of the Castle and he defeats him at Clash of the Castle, because that is the weekend of All Out. That's the only way I could possibly see Roman even losing. He's going to roll over The Rock next year in Mania. He's going to keep rolling. And at some point, he's going to hit a wall. Somebody who is, it might be Riddle down the line. This is a good way to build Riddle right now to get to that point. And I'll also say I love the way Riddle looked. Like he was just pissed off at the end of SmackDown. Not that fun-loving, dopey, let's smoke some weed, dude.
I love too. Let him build up to it. I love it.
Well, Tom, I remember when we were doing the SmackDown shows, and when we had the split Raw and SmackDown, and you would say it all the time, you want to see that other side of Riddle, and I think we're finally getting that now. And it's the perfect time to do it, because if you want to make Riddle into a champion contender, you need that, that strong side out of him. And I think you're getting that with, this whole story with Randy and Riddle, which another thing to mention, we thought this story was going to be over between Randy and Riddle fucking last year, and they're still going with it. And honestly, I don't want to see them break it up anytime soon, which means they'll break it up soon.
I mean, they don't have to. They don't have to be a tag team forever, but they can just be friends. Like in the back channel.
That's true too.
But Riddle, he is so underrated, and I think it's because it's his goofiness that gets him like not as much appreciation. A little bit like people appreciate it, but not like as a main eventer. Like if you just stop and watch his matches, his selling is bar none some of the best. Like the way he sells is just unbelievable. His moveset is great. It's believable. I mean, just everything about him is just so good. I mean, and you could easily flip him to be a heel. That's what I enjoy wrestlers the most. Is like they could flip one way or another, because then you get that surprise of of how they could be. But so I mean, he could be a great babyface, great heel. He's just so underrated. I think this is just like a stepping stone for both of them in both ways. One for Roman to get to Randy probably at SummerSlam. That's the rumor, and another stepping stone for Riddle to get up to that upper echelon on the card. So.
Yep. Before we move on, I got to reply to Ace Field Retro said, Tom doesn't listen to dirt sheets, but bases his takes on mailer surveys from Nikon Flexitoys.
That's good.
I am not going to take my news source from some guy looking for clickbait to make a penny. I will take something from coming directly from WWE to make a point on why he's returning. So you are correct, Ace.
Say it with your chest, Tom. Say it with your chest.
Sean Ross Sapp. Sean Ross Sapp said this is going to be this time. This is going to be Sean Ross, and he's never wrong. I love Sean Ross Sapp.
Totally. All right. Well, that's it for the collar and elbow. But before we continue on with our final 2 quick segments on the night, just want to shout out some other comments, because as Chad said, comment section is being lit up. It is on fire. I feel the heat tonight. Anyone lighting it up, the chat or simply watching, please leave a like on this video. Subscribe to the channel. It goes such a long way. We are on the road to 800 subscribers. I know that we could get there very, very soon. So definitely help us out there. And if you're already subscribed, thank you. And it means the world to us. So let's get into some of these comments here. Let's see here. I'm looking through some comments. Also, I guess we'll just mention it now. When we mentioned earlier on, new formats of the podcast, we're going to change up the way we do our comment section a little bit. So if we don't get to your comments immediately right away, don't fret, because we want to group all the comments together so that, we kind of hit on everything. And in the audio version, we're going to swap those out for some commercials so that there's still a lot of engagement between our visual listeners, but for the audio listeners, it won't break up the flow. You'll hear some commercial for the Pod Foundation. So this part is going to be a commercial anyways, but hope you please keep up with these comments because it helps a lot. Acefield says, Drew McIntyre has challenged Roman Reigns for the WWE Undisputed Universal title at Clash of the Castle this September at Wales. Match is essentially booked. Let's also remember, what I like is that he challenged for the title. He didn't challenge Roman. I think that was a good little detail on SmackDown. He didn't say, I'm challenging Roman, because you don't want to immediately say, yeah, I'm going to fight Roman in September, because he could lose the title by then. Yep. Mike Belcaster says, like and follow, and I'll send you free Turnbuckle Tavern stickers. Do that. Get your stickers. Show some proof. You could DM the Turnbuckle Tavern. Show us that you liked and followed and did everything, and we will send you some stickers. We also have Acefield saying, for the record, I don't think Riddle is winning at Money in the Bank. I think he could be a guy that would be worth giving that rub to somewhere down the line, as Tom shows off the beautiful stickers that we have to offer. Yeah, he could be. He 100% could be. And also just a huge shout out to James Perez, and Anakin Skywalker. Both of them are in the chat tonight.
Nice.
Thank you guys for coming in. Anakin, I still haven't watched Obi-Wan yet, so no spoilers, please. Goddamn, pal. Has anyone here seen it yet?
No, but I need to watch it.
Star Wars sucks.
Cody
Oh,
has
shut up.
Sean Ross. I love it.
That's pretty fun.
Right for Sean Ross Sapp's like Patreon for a month and realized he gives away nothing, and it was a waste of $6.
That was like Uncle Dave earlier today saying something about Cody's injury, saying you usually don't get if you live a healthy lifestyle and you're doing the proper things, you usually don't get injuries like that when you lift weights.
God.
Kind of,
He's such a fucking idiot.
Kind of indicating that Cody was doing something other.
Oh, Dave, let's hear about all your weightlifting stories.
Then someone came back and said something to him. He was like, "Well, I wasn't indicating anything. I was just saying that some people, work out differently than others." It's like
you can't see the weights that he lifts in his office because they're all hidden under those papers that are all over the place in his office.
Stop it, Dave. You mad Cody left?
Swarmed in papers.
That's
why
really
we
mad
listen
that
to the
Cody
Turnbuckle
left.
Tavern, because we don't give you any of that BS.
And now you have to give him a 5-star for that Judgment Day, that Hell in a Cell match that he had.
Yeah, I know, right? Some quick other comments before we move on. We have Good Point Anthony. Of course, I bring a lot of good points to the show.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that little nuance.
Great kayfabe, dude.
And apparently Dave is low-key jacked for an old dude. If you say so.
Yeah.
If you say so.
All right. Cool.
Cool guy. All right. It is time to get into another segment here on the Raw Down, and it's my favorite music of the night. So let's hit it. Match of the week. So I want to limit this just to Raw and SmackDown because we already saw the obviously. Come on. I've only made graphics for Raw and SmackDown. So obviously the Hell in a Cell match, the triple threat.
Died
match,
and made
those
you
are
president.
Yeah, Steve's still president. He didn't say that we can't pick any from Hell in the Cell.
No, right?
That is true. But I mean, if we're going, because we also have to give some love. We're the Raw Down after all. We have to give some love to Raw and SmackDown. True. And I think even with the the Cody match, the triple threat match, although I wouldn't put it over those matches, I think obviously the Usos versus Riddle and Shinsuke has to be up there with one of the top matches on the week. Yeah. Crazy match. Definitely, like I mentioned before, gave Riddle that spotlight that we haven't seen from him, making him that serious presence. And he looks like a contender for that championship against Roman. And although I don't see him taking the title off of Roman, he could definitely be a force to be reckoned with against him. So that's my match of the week. Any other matches?
Otis versus Ezekiel.
Womp womp.
Let's see.
There you go.
I'm gonna go with the women's match.
The one from yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, good. I had that one made up. That's another match for sure that I put up there.
Yeah, anytime I could see Alexa Bliss and Liv Morgan in the ring at the same time.
It's Tay Conti. Oh my god.
It's Tay Conti. This was a great match too. By the way, Freems is in the chat. Thank you for joining us, Freems.
Still pick Cody versus Seth in Hell in a Cell. I'm not allowed to. I'm the champ. If I want to.
But yeah, those are. I think those are the main matches.
Yeah, I think it's unanimous with that. We're not going to talk about the other women's match on SmackDown where,
we definitely can talk about that.
Natalya won a chance to to face Ronda Rousey sometime down the road. It said, not even the next pay-per-view.
We'll see. Whatever feel like it.
You want a number one contendership, but we'll see when you get to the face up for that.
Not enough rope shaking or smoke.
Hot takes here. Get your hot takes here.
Not trying to change the goddamn world. What do you want from me?
I want to say my hot take is go away, Natalia.
Good.
Yeah.
That isn't even a hot take. It's correct. I'm tired of Natalia. I get the Hart family, the legacy. It's cool. She's awful on the mic. She is decent in the ring. All she does is that little spot where her opponent is sitting in the ring, and then she like bounces off the ropes. She just steps on their back. That's all she does, and then she does the sharpshooter, and then it's over. I'm tired of Natalia. We could have got Ronda Rousey versus Shayna Baszler, and for some godforsaken reason, we're getting Natalia versus Ronda Rousey. We've fucking seen the match already. That happened on Ronda's first run.
By the Hart family.
You don't like the you don't like her discus lariat that she does?
I was about to say that.
Yeah, the discus lariat.
I was about to say
lariat.
that.
Oh my god.
Lariat.
Lariat. On Instagram. Go away, Natalia. I don't even follow her, and now popped up on my Instagram.
I think we should see more of Jenny Hart.
No comment. All right. Since we mentioned Hell in a Cell, I guess out of the Hell in a Cell matches, right? We'll keep it separate from Raw and SmackDown. Out of the Hell in a Cell matches, what would be your match of the night? I would assume it's between Cody and the triple threat match.
Cody and Seth.
I think it's Cody and Seth easily.
I mean, just the I mean, you can go. I might watch it again after we record this.
Adrenaline, it's in my soul.
And I couldn't really even watch the match most of the time because
just cringing the whole time.
Chest was awful.
My wife had to stop. She's like, I just can't watch this. But when he took the thing off, we both sat there like, oh
yeah, that was And then Seth Rollins like taking the sledgehammer and jabbing it into the that was too much. I was like, I'm done. I'm done. I'm a little bit done with this.
Cody match gave me faith in the WWE. I've been there and had that, and I've been trampled on many.
Because you gotta have faith.
You gotta have faith. I mean, like Cody says,
is everyone here a wrestling fan or sports entertainment?
That was goddamn wrestling.
Does anyone? This might be a hot take.
Oh,
okay.
About Cody.
I'll hit the button.
Hot takes here. Get your hot takes here.
It's not really that crazy, but I think he's gonna do everything in his effing power to get back before 4 months.
That's all. I think so too. He's gonna pull John Cena.
I have a feeling he's gonna try. I think he's gonna try to make it back before Money in the Bank. That's my official take. I think he's gonna try to make it back by that time.
He teased Money in the Bank.
I don't
want in 4 weeks we got Money in the Bank.
And set himself back. But I see him trying to do something crazy.
Yeah,
I think
he's gonna at least try. It's not gonna be like he's gonna sit out the months. He might just even be as a presence on TV. He could just come out and do promos or something, or they'll find something for him.
Cena hurt his. He had the same injury back in 2007.
Yep.
He tore his in October 2007, and he came back January 2008. 3 months. So I mean, obviously, Cena is a superhuman.
Yeah,
but
depends on the severity of the
when he did that.
Too.
Cena was a lot younger when he did that.
Right.
True.
Right. Yeah. Cena was probably what. I'm gonna look that up here real quick. I'll keep talking.
They can do. He can. Cody can rehash the old Randy Orton promos that Randy Orton did when he hurt his arm in the beginning of his career, and it would be like the Randy Orton update. And you would just come on and say, my arm's almost healed. I went if you're too young and you haven't seen any of that stuff, definitely go back and search Randy Orton arm update or whatever.
Instead of coming out with a face mask, he should come out with a shield on his chest and just
wrestle. So some of the greatest Randy Orton stuff in the early days of Randy Orton. It was great, and he had his Justin Bieber hair too as well.
I will never say never. John Cena was 30 years old when he tore his pec.
Oh wow!
And Cody is 36.
36, yes.
That's not much of a difference.
Cody is a road, so that gives him some. That boosts his XP a little bit.
The road daddy.
And let's talk about this too,
because he didn't have pecs.
yeah, what I have.
I wasn't gonna say it.
blubber on their chest, baby. We have a little bit of blubber on the chest, you know,
on the tip, if you will.
If you will. Look like I could milk 7 cows, baby. Okay.
Hard time the one you can milk 7 cows. Hard time.
Look like I got 7 udders, baby.
Hey, Ronda Rousey, put your baby over here.
No, one thing I think I want to mention too real quick about Cody. I think he's, no matter what, the biggest thing, he's a made man now.
Yeah.
Like, people were just waiting. Okay, when is Stardust coming out? When is Cody Rhodes coming out? Like, they ain't no way they're gonna put him out.
And The Rock means.
I mean, Vince has got to be just
Goddamn, pal.
Yeah, goddamn, pal. He's got to be doing flips right now. He's probably out there squatting 2,000 pounds. Like, oh,
you got grapefruits.
You got the balls of the Miz.
I want to see that. The after, they like kind of record when they're walking back through like the back in the girl position.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what that looked like when
Vince and Cody were making out. They were making out.
We're live, pal. Just
it is pro wrestling. This isn't sports entertainment.
Just a quick note before we move on to the final segment. Did you guys catch yesterday that little stage that they've been doing on the entranceway? The Okerlund position.
Great call there. They used it a couple weeks ago. I was so glad to see it back. I loved it.
They got to do it more often. It's such a.
It's funny.
So
they
great.
kind of brought back the Dirty Dogs, like they actually meant something and people would care. It's so sad that those two guys use better.
I mentioned it in the chat too. And we didn't even mention Becky Lynch and the 24/7 stuff.
Well, there's a reason for that.
There's no reason to mention it.
Exactly.
From Becky Lynch challenging for the 24/7 title, you have Seth swerving Cody, you have Judgment Day swerving Edge, and you have Omos fighting the Dirty Dogs. Vince Russo booked this shit. There is no way that you could possibly tell me that Vince Russo was not at least somewhat, or at least a consultant for this show.
Definitely, yeah.
Supposedly he's been a consultant. He's been a consultant over the last couple of months.
You're gonna go out there, bro. And you're gonna congratulate Cody, bro.
Listen, bro. You have Omos, right? And he can't work. The guy can't do nothing. That's why we gotta put him with the Dirty Dogs. Listen, bro. Robert Roode was amazing in TNA. I want to put him in a pole match, but I had too much respect for the guy.
Roode on a pole match
is phenomenal too. So we're gonna put them in some handicap matches, and we're gonna sell so much money, bro. We're gonna get so many tickets, bro. It's gonna be phenomenal, bro. And swerve after swerve after swerve.
Swerve's an AEW.
That was Vince last night. Swerve,
bro.
Swerve, bro, indeed, bro, indeed. All right. Well, this was fun, but there's only one way to cap off the show, and it is to ask the age-old question:
Who won the week?
Who won the friggin' week? Again, let's keep it to Raw and SmackDown. You're going with SmackDown, you say? Explain.
Because I hated that Judgment Day. That shit so bad.
Now I'm going
Ruin Raw.
Ruined Raw.
No, Raw won. I think Raw absolutely won.
No, Raw
I'm going with Raw as well, and it's for other reasons other than the Judgment Day stuff. But like, it felt like. This felt like the show that you needed after a pay-per-view and the show that you should get after a pay-per-view because they finished off a lot of, feuds. They moved on from a lot of stuff. They closed out they started new things, even like the Omos and Dirty Dog stuff. Like this is what we should be seeing after a pay-per-view. Just new stories, fresh faces. As much as we hated it, seeing Becky Lynch and Dana Brooke is different. You know, how many times would we see Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair or Becky Lynch versus Asuka? You know, at least seeing Dana Brooke in there is somewhat different.
Yeah.
Dana Brooke got the Jobert entrance.
Yeah, that's true. Let's also
should have won the title and threw it in the trash as soon as the match was over.
And throw Dana Brooke with her.
Yeah. Wow. Leave Dana Brooke alone.
Hey, you know what I think? I think Dana Brooke must know what was in that vault that Shane tempted years ago. The lockbox. Dana must know what's in the lockbox.
Well, I thought it was Nia at first because they kept Nia around for so long, but Nia must have told Dana. And
like,
now,
hey, you want to stick down and make a payday for 2 more years?
Nia was family, the Samoan heritage, so
yeah, that too.
Sometime.
All right, real quick, let me just get through some comments, and then we're gonna wrap up today's show. We have Freems. He says that Judgment Day has been cool too. I wonder if that includes the swerve, because in that case, J-Bone, you have someone against you as well. He also says that Cena is barely a human. That's very true. Ace
Cena.
Ace says Cena came back in 4 months with the same injury with hard work, prayers, and yes, a little bit of HGH to expedite healing.
That's the problem with somebody using HGH to heal from an injury.
Muscle milk.
Get that muscle milk. Say your prayers. Eat your vitamins.
Whoa.
Yes.
You motorboat son of a bitch.
Ace also says a young Ace was in the building when Cena made that return at the Rumble in 2008. Good on you. Good on you.
You can read about it in the dirt sheets first.
Old fat guy BMX is also in the chat. Thank you for joining us. Russo is sports entertainment cancer bro. Hey, come on now. I wouldn't go that far.
No.
Russo brought in some of the greatest moments of all time. I would love to have Vince Russo on an episode of the Rawdown eventually.
But, man, that'd be great.
Yeah, right. Also, Tyson brings up a good point. It's Hell in D Cell, bro. I don't know where it came from that they're calling it Hell in A Cell. I brought up the name to Vince because it's Hell in the Cell, bro. I know that word for word because I was listening to him today and he went on that exact rant.
Why were you listening to Vince
Russo? He was live. I need to listen to it. Let's close out today's episode with Acefield's news. According to Fightful Select, the decision to move Edge from Judgment Day wasn't just a reaction to Cody Rhodes leaving for 6 months. WWE made plans to bring in a supernatural element to the group, and Edge opposed it. This is what led to Finn Balor replacing him. Not a gothic group. It makes sense.
And hey, Sean Ross Sapp is always right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
Still waiting to see if MJF booked the flight.
Oh man! I mean, we're not the AEW show, but there's been you guys been reading those updates on MJF?
Yes, I have.
Still work.
That's what we
I don't know what to think anymore.
Work.
You want a really good look in depth into this? Check out the Turnbuckle sessions this Friday.
There you go.
Ooh.
Plug the show. It's going to be an hour you do not want to miss.
Well, let's go ahead and plug away. Let's plug away.
Well, yeah, because of course, ladies and gentlemen,
hey yo,
it's time to end the show. Folks, thank you so much for listening, watching, and tagging along with us here on the Rawdown. Let's go around and do some plugging. Tom, you already started us off, so continue. Where can we find you?
Do not forget to go to theturnbuckletavern.com.
I'll do that later. Plug your own stuff.
Don't interrupt the champ.
I can
find a list of all of our shows, but the OG Fit Kid on Twitter and Instagram. You'll find me on Tuesday nights normally at 7 p.m. Not tonight for Fig Night. I guess you'll be seeing me every week at 10 o'clock on the Rawdown.
Use the title.
Wednesdays, you'll see me on the AEW wrap-up show, and on Friday, me and Mike Pelcaster, the Turnbuckle Sessions.
All right, MVP Marco, where are we finding the Chick Foley show, the newly returned Chick Foley show?
Yeah, newly returned. We returned last week. Probably back on a regular schedule. I believe we're recording this week as well. We'll do our Hell in a Cell recap. And obviously figure reveals and stuff like that. Anything that happened in the Fig world. We'll probably talk about some some Cody Rhodes. Hopefully, I mean, I'll make sure of that. We'll definitely be talking some more
that.
Cody Rhodes.
Nice.
Cody. That's all that matters. But yeah, you can definitely find me on the Twitter machine at Chick Foley Show. You can follow Sheena at Chick Foley. You can follow me at the MVP Marco if you'd like. Not much going on there. Other than that, yeah, I mean, join the Facebook group, chickfoleyshow.com, and see what all the fun is about, or the fuss, either or, depending on if you like jokes or not. Well,
yeah, I know. You can see Marco just get so much heat. Pay your $2 and just watch Marco get shit on for making a joke.
Oh man,
one of my heel
That's all about.
Jeez.
Fun times.
Hey, I'm gonna join a Facebook group that I don't even listen to the podcast.
It's the way to go, and pay for it nonetheless.
Pay for
it and give the money. Let's not knock it.
Yeah, exactly.
Brutus Bone Cake. Love the name tonight. Tell me where we're finding it.
Name. Okay, so first of all, I'm Brutus Bone Cake, aka the Bony Man. Okay.
Is that not what I just said? Brutus Bone Cake?
You botched it.
How did I botch it? All right, whatever. It's too late. Continue.
Coming down the aislepod.com. Head on over there. I'm going to be posting some interviews, so check that out. I got my interview with Jack Thompson. I know I'm going to have some figgies coming in this week, so that means free the fig. I got that Bret Hart coming in. I think that Bret Hart's coming in tomorrow, so I'll do a review of that. And I've got some older figures coming in too, so I'm pretty excited about. This week I'm supposed to interview with Sneed, but we're gonna do a little one-on-one with Sneedo, the man called Sneed, and we're gonna be watching Vader and Sting from Super Bowl Raw 3.
Nice.
So check that out.
Is that the White Castle of Fear?
No, that is yes, it is. I'm sorry. Yes, it is White Castle of Fear. Yes.
Nice. White Castle of Fear, baby.
Yeah. So, but we're going to be cutting and strutting, baby.
Stinger. And you can follow the Independent Epicenter over on Instagram and Twitter at Indie Epicenter. That's INDIE. EPICENTER. I think I got that right. It's too late. It's too late to spell. Invictus Pro Wrestling is going to be on a little bit of a hiatus for the summer, but I'm going to be pumping out some content. Have a little new documentary series that I have coming up to highlight some of the cool wrestlers that Invictus has. So check that out soon. Plus, I could be popping up and working with any and all companies on the independent wrestling scene. So stay on the lookout for what I have in store for you in the future, because it's going to be a fun time overall. But with that all out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to plug the Turnbuckle Tavern. Folks, if you're not already following the Turnbuckle Tavern, what in God's name are you doing? Folks, there's only one place to go, and that is theturnbuckletavern.com. Join the community, get involved. We're doing some amazing work here, and you can follow us, subscribe to us on all of the platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, Discord, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Pro Wrestling Tees, and Teespring. And let me just get into that little merch section real quick, because you can buy our merch at prowrestlingtees.com/cavern. You have the specific amazing faces. All of us have our own t-shirts. Hollywood Tony, MVP Marco, Boney Khan, even, Tom's got a shirt, but who the fuck wants to buy a Tom shirt? Jesus Christ. And then, of course, you can go ahead to Teespring over at theturnbuckletavern.com with the official RAWDOWN logo on some merch. You can get, I'm the RAWDOWN champion. I think Tom will be purchasing that shirt very shortly. And of course, my favorite, Mr. Backlash himself, gets his own shirt. Love that shirt so much. And finally, if you want to get, even closer with the tavern than you already are, if you've followed, subscribed, did all of that, you can be a member of the tavern more so by calling us and hearing your voice heard, hearing your voice played on the flagship show. That's 304-404-2004. That's the number to call. Hear your message played on the flagship show. Call the tavern. Leave us a voicemail. you can call us at 304-404-2004. That's 304-404-2004. Make your voice heard. Folks, new layout, new format, new co-host over here, but same old shenanigans here on the Raw Down. We will see you next week. We've got a lot of great stuff in store for you here in the month of June. But until then, take care, spike your hair, woo, woo, woo.
Cut your hair. Cut your hair.
Cut your hair. You know it. Take care.